Anxiety, depression, bipolar, borderline personality, schizophrenia, post-traumatic stress, panic, bulimia, body dysmorphia, anorexia, and many, many more that adolescents go through every day. So many disorders, yet such little focus on the actual issue. Irregularity. People want things to be perfect, so they sit there and they try to piece things together to make them perfect, hoping for some reason that it's going to be okay and everything is going to be perfect, but perfect doesn't even exist. There's counseling, pills, and the constant pressure of everyone around you. Sometimes it's hard to find the balance of what's going on in your head versus what's going on around you. Many people resort to self-harm. Everybody's immediate reaction to helping somebody get better is medication. Like a pill has every little answer you're looking for in that tiny tablet or that tiny capsule. You become institutionalized with the issues you never asked to have. Let's focus on the bigger picture. What is mental illness? According to Google, mental illness is a wide range of conditions that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior, which from my knowledge happens to be very true. But it's so much more to the people going through it. I asked some of my friends to piece together a small description of what they have, what that contains, and how they cope. One friend said, "Well, I have chronic anxiety and panic disorder. What makes it tough is having to go through every day forcing confidence. If I show any vulnerabilities, any at all, I feel like a target."
Hi, my name's Anicia, and I was diagnosed with severe depression 2 years ago, my sophomore year of high school. Right now I am a senior. I have been struggling with depression for 5 years now, since 7th grade. And there are different types of depression. There is like manic, bipolar, which means that it happens more like every now and then, and mine's is more of a common everyday type depression. There's also seasonal depression, where they only get it in certain seasons. Normally it's found in winter, which is actually when mine is the worst, but it is still year-round. It consists of just really not enjoying the normal activities that I would normally enjoy. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like drowning, really, if that's the best way to describe it. It's like drowning, and you can see everyone around you breathing. And I don't really talk about it. Normally what I do to help kind of relieve symptoms is just kind of going out with friends. I like art and music. Music is a big help to my mental disorder.
Hi, my name is Danielle. I'm 13 years old and I have anxiety. For those of you who don't know, anxiety is a mental disorder described by feelings of worry or fear that are strong enough to interfere with your daily life. I'm terribly afraid of saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing.
Hi, my name's Sabria, and although it may not look like it, I've been diagnosed with mental illnesses. My mental illnesses are depression disorder, anxiety disorder, and obsessive compulsive eating disorder. Basically, to me, what depression means is that you're really sad all the time and you just don't know how to help it. Anxiety to me was how I would always take a test and I would study hours and hours for it. And then the test day comes and I failed the test because I was so worried about my grade and what would happen if I didn't get a good grade. And I couldn't remember all the material because I was so worried about question A when I should have been worried about question B, C, D, and what would have been on the test. My obsessive compulsive eating disorder was first sought out when I was about 11 or 12, I couldn't really talk to anybody about how I felt. So instead of talking, I ate. And after that, I would feel really bad about eating. When I was younger, I didn't really have a lot of coping mechanisms. Now I do. I found my voice and I started to sing. I got involved with a lot more things, and I feel like that's how I cope. Now I go for runs. I joined a bunch of groups. I mentor, just like I was mentored. And I believe that that's a coping mechanism. If you can get into as much things as you can, that's how it can help everything.
It's usually the quiet one. The person who you would least expect to have these dark thoughts. To them, it's no longer a dark thought because they go through it constantly that it becomes part of their daily routine. Wake up sad, have thoughts that you're too afraid to speak to anybody about because we've been programmed to think that there's something wrong with sharing what we think. Fall asleep sad and repeat. Mental illness has a huge effect on people and people's social skills. It can take a turn for the worse and lead to suicide. It's not the person's choice, it's the mental illness speaking for them. It's a walking pathogen in your own body. I'm being tested for bipolar disorder, and to me, manic episodes are like sitting in a room that you feel like is caving in. You don't know where to go or what to do, so you react in a way that you probably shouldn't. It's like your brain tells you to do one thing, and then you find yourself in the exact same situation, and your brain then tells you to go in a different direction. To me, depression is the change in the moon shape. Sometimes it's larger than others, and sometimes it hardly shows through, but there will never not be a moon. It's always there. Depression is like starting your car, but not having the motivation to drive. Depression is a constant. To me, anxiety is a bully. No matter what you do, where you go, how you react to something, what you say, it finds you, and it beats you up for the most pointless reasons. Nobody should be embarrassed about mental illness. It wasn't their choice, it isn't their fault, and they're a whole lot stronger than you. It's not a joke, and if you think it is, you're part of the problem.